everybody. Welcome to our Facebook Live. My name is Matt Wan, and I'm the CEO of the Les Brown Maximum Achievement Team and Maximum Potential Institute, as you can tell. I am with our Chief Learning Officer, Oscar Arias. What's happening?
How's it going, Matt?
Good, buddy.
All right.
Today we're here to talk about the difference between a salesperson and a sales professional. And I ask, which one are you? Now I ask you, if you want, go ahead and submit some questions. I have my trusty iPad here because I'm going to be following here so I can answer some questions. But I ask that, what are you? What do you, if you're in the sales profession right now, what do you think you are? Do you think you're a sales professional? And we ask that because we do a lot of training, right?
Yeah.
We do a ton of training with sales professionals. Just this, at the beginning of this week, I had somebody that I ran into outside of the office. We trained him about a year ago. And he said to me, he says, Matt, he says, I want to thank you, man. You changed my life in sales. Because a year ago, before we trained him, he came up to us. It was Al and I, actually. He came up to us. He says, Matt, he says, I'm not good at the sales game, man. He says, I think I'm going to quit sales because I just can't seem to close deals.
Right.
I says, well, I went to my coach mode. So I said to him, okay, so why do you think that is? He immediately said, because I care too much about the people. I said, whoa, slow down a second. I said, the first trait of a professional salesperson that you actually care about your customer. That's the first trait.
Yeah.
That's not a negative. And so I asked him, do you care about the product you sell? Do you believe in the product? He said, oh, I love the product I sell.
Yeah.
I said, you love the product you sell, you care about your sales professional, you care about your customers. Why do you think that you're not selling it enough? He says, well, because what happens is I go through it, I meet them, and he works all the steps well. He meets and he greets the people, he qualifies them, he really builds a great rapport with them, he finds out exactly. He's got it all. And then he goes through the presentation, he says he's great at presenting, he goes through everything according to what they're looking for.
Sure.
But then at the end they say, well, I got to think about it, thanks, and he can't close the deals. So I said to him, well, your problem, this is going back a year ago, I said, so your problem is you're not asking for the business.
Right.
And you don't know how to overcome objections and handle objections.
Yep.
So we worked on that. We trained on that. We talked about how you overcome objections, how you understand to overcome objections, and how you close people by asking for the business.
Sure.
A recent study showed that the vast majority of salespeople don't even ask for the business because they're afraid that they may offend the people that they made a friend in.
Yeah.
You actually said yeah.
Yeah, I came up with that. Well, I didn't come up with it, but that
That
study.
was a statistic you showed me.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's an incredible thing. So now what happened here, he advice. I gave him a book to read about how to overcome objections and handle objections.
Sure.
And actually move to the sale. We call it our AIM formula. Here at the Institute, we call it the AIM formula, which is acknowledge the objection, isolate the objection, and then move to a close.
Sure.
And that all starts, so he started doing that, and now he's the top guy in the company, one of the top guys in the company.
Sure.
He's not the top, but he's one of the top guys in the company. He's making 6 figures a year.
Nice.
And it's because he became a professional. Now, what does that mean? That means that you become a constant learner.
Yes.
You read. Yes. You take your profession seriously.
Yes.
You don't just graduate college and never read a book again.
Right.
Think about that. So I ask you, what do you think you are? Are you a professional salesperson? Just a salesperson. And one of the things I want to say, and I want you to chime in on this, and which I think is really, really important, is that when you read as much as possible, when you read things about sales, about different kinds of books, you gain knowledge every single day.
Sure.
And it says that the average American reads 1 book a year.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. And most people don't even finish that book or that program.
So then we'll ask you out there that's watching,
Yeah.
how many books have you read in the past year? And specifically related to your business. So if you're in the sales industry, I'm not talking about a romance novel. It's the way it is.
Right.
I'm not talking about that.
Right.
I'm not talking about a romance. How many books have you read on how to overcome objections, how to close the sale, how to take action, how to prospect, how to make cold calls, how to do that? So how many have you read on that? Just today, I read parts in the 10X rule, and I also read the Power of Positive Thinking by Norma Vincent Peale. And I read on a daily basis because I want to be ahead of my competition.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's kind of funny because I also read another statistic that recently that 77% of people that can't stand the job that they go to. So why are they going to a job that they can't stand?
We get stuck in survival mode. We want to settle.
So here's
yeah, go ahead.
So here's my thing when I say that 77% of people go to a job that they can't stand. Why do you go to that job? And I'm going to say this: if you're in the sales profession and you're one of those people that say, and I'm just going to say it, if you're one of those people that constantly say, oh, I can't sell here, I'm not doing good here because of the management, or I'm not doing good here because of the inventory, or I'm not doing good here because the product sucks, or I'm not doing here because of this, you need to stop. You need to look in the mirror and take responsibility for where you are right now.
Right.
See, sales professionals take responsibility for where they are.
Right.
And then they want to move forward because they have goals. Yeah. They want to learn. They want to take in everything that they possibly can. And if you're one of those salespeople, not professional, if you're one of those salespeople that are always complaining and one of those 77% that hate the job that you're in, well, maybe you ought to look for a new job.
Right.
And maybe you ought to look to study a little bit to gain. You can start right now. I guarantee, if I said to anyone out there that's watching this right now, if I can show you how you can take an investment of less than $300 and turn that into $100,000 in 1 year, guaranteed, what would you think to be the answer?
It's too good to be true.
It's not too good to be true.
What's the catch?
Oscar thinks it's too good to be true.
No, I don't think it's too good to be true.
I want you guys to ask any questions.
I'm just giving you what the natural response is going to be for most
It's
people.
too good to be true, right?
It's too good to be true, and we have resistance. You know, the reality is, how in love are you with your results, right? And you're right. I mean, sales is the best way that you can literally become financially independent. Sales. There's a good book I read once called The Richest Man in Town, and one of the things that people have in common is that they are sales professionals, right? And you have to learn how to sell. And when it comes to, you know, you can start with what? Just having a phone, having a laptop, a Wi-Fi connection, having knowledge, and before you know it, you're going to be able to really fill up your bank account. And so when you're in sales, you're in business for yourself.
No question about it.
You know, this is like...
That's the mistake most people make.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, I'm just here temporarily.
No.
You know, and most people who have that mentality don't ever become professionals.
No, they don't. That's the mentality you got to take, that you're in business for yourself. And to go back to what I said before, if I can show you how you can take $300 and turn that into a, excuse me one second.
Sure.
Okay, continue that.
Yeah, so I mean, ultimately, like, you're in business for yourself. So going back to professionals, well, there are two differences, right? There's vocation, and then there's professional. And vocation, pretty much, you just do a job and you do just enough to survive, or just to keep your job.
Yeah.
And when you're, in that modality, in reality, you're just going with what you know, your innate abilities. You're depending on your talent, and talent's not enough. When you're a sales professional, right, you're gonna have a lifelong commitment to learning and mastery. You never stop.
Never stop.
You never stop learning.
That's correct.
And like, one of the biggest limiting beliefs people have, and people complain about millennials, but is this: I already know this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I already know that, right? I already know this. Or they read a book like Think and Grow Rich. They read it once and they say, I already know that.
Yeah, they got it. They're geniuses.
And there's this group that I met once in Atlanta, Georgia. Literally, true story. These people are like all in the range of multi-millionaires, net worth. Right, and they meet at 5 a.m. at Starbucks, or no, at 5:30, 6 o'clock, depending on where we're going to open it. And they're near Buckhead, right? And they told me, Oscar, if you really want to get this book, if you want this book, if you want to internalize Think and Grow Rich, because everyone has an internal success system.
Right.
You were born to win. You have to read it at least 6 times. Get engaged with
keep
this.
doing it.
You know, it's the same thing like reading the Bible. I already know the Bible.
Right.
I read it back.
I'm an expert.
Right, I'm an expert. No, every time you read it, you get something out of it.
Of course.
You never stop learning. Professionals, they know that they have to always stay on top of the competition.
They have to learn.
Stay on top. Stay ahead.
Every day.
Every single day.
And that's how you can take under $300 and turn it into $100,000. See, if you want to invest unless these books cost, I don't know, $15, maybe $20, I don't know, whatever, maybe $10.
Yeah.
I read, I listen to in my car. You can spend less than $300 on books a year and guarantee to make $100,000 in your profession. If you read 12 books on sales just this year alone, I guarantee you're going to double your income.
Yeah.
That's what successful people do. They're constantly learning. They're constantly growing. And if you are in a stuck position in your company, Whether, I don't care what you're selling. If you're making 30, 40 grand a year, you need to look in the mirror and start taking responsibility.
Absolutely.
And that's the reality of it. We have a beautiful long weekend this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's July 4th weekend, right? I guarantee on July 4th, most people are going to be eating hot dogs, drinking beer, getting drunk, right? Okay, look, that's your choice. I don't say we shouldn't have fun.
Right.
Okay, I'm not saying that. Of course we should have fun. We should always enjoy ourselves. But what are you going to do on July 4th to put good into your mind? What are you going to do to advance your career for 2017?
Sure.
And that's the key. So it's really important. If you're a professional, you have to learn how to overcome objections. You have to learn how to handle customers. You have to learn how to do business-to-business sales, retail sales, whatever industry you're in. It's not something that's going to be given to you.
Right.
Listen, LeBron James, when they lost the championship this year, what do you think he was doing the next day?
He was back in the gym.
He was back in the gym.
Yep.
LeBron James was back in the gym and the media was following him and he was working double as hard. Why? Because he has passion to succeed. He has passion to do better. And everybody says LeBron James doesn't care. He's worth $1 billion. He cares. He cares.
Yeah.
He's a professional.
You know, at some level, at some point, you know, if you're not making money right now, yes, that's going to be your main focus. I get that. But at one point, the top sales guys, when they finally get to that level where money's no longer a concern, bills are paid for, you got 8 or 9 months of reserves in the bank, you got a portfolio, whatever. It's no longer about the money, Matt. It's about the deal.
It's not about
These people love the deal.
It's true.
They love the deal. They don't care
with the money.
They don't care about the money anymore. Like LeBron James, I don't care about the money anymore.
No, he
the
doesn't.
same way Kevin Durant, what did he do? He left OKC.
Yep.
You could judge him. He doesn't care about the money. He cares about the ring.
Of course he does.
He wanted that legacy.
He wants to win.
Yeah.
Just like professionals, just like sales professionals.
Yes.
You know, if you really think about it, you ask yourself, the top real estate sales professionals in the world, the top automotive sales professionals in the world, the top professionals in any industry, I don't care what it is, they make a good money, they make a great living.
Right.
But it's about taking care of their customers. It's about making that deal.
Yes.
It's about going over and above.
Yes.
I know a guy that works over here, that works over at Coconut Creek, Mitsubishi, Hyundai, and Subaru.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with him for the past 20 years. He sells this is one guy, over 100 cars a month. And whoever works there, if they're watching this, they know who I'm talking about. He sells one guy. And I remember when we were working together, this is going back over in the King Mitsubishi days, he came up to me, he said, "Man, I'm not taking ups. I'm not going to do this up stuff. This is not more work." And he built himself a business within a business. And I want to touch on what you said.
Yeah.
Salespeople understand that you're in business for yourself.
No, this is like the fastest way for entrepreneurism. Oh, one day I want to have my own business. When you're in sales, this is the way.
This is it.
Look, I'm telling you, go ahead, do the research, okay? I don't know if you know me yet, but like I study this stuff and I like to model the best on the planet.
Absolutely.
So I'm always looking at studies, and right now, believe it or not, in college curriculums, if you're gonna go for a business degree, guess what? Guess what's included in that curriculum now?
Sales.
Sales.
Entrepreneurship and sales.
Sales.
Yep.
Why? Because that's the only thing that's going to keep you going. Even though we have robots coming in 2020, 2015, 2050, whatever, guess what? There's always going to be a need for somebody to persuade.
And guess what?
This is going to stay forever.
You need somebody to sell those robots.
Right,
too.
exactly.
Exactly.
And the parts, and the maintenance,
And everything
and the
else.
software behind it. Yeah.
There's always going to be salespeople. And I want to touch on that. You know, a lot of people say these days it's a little bit different. You know what? People like to be sold. I still like to pick up my phone and start calling people.
Right.
I'm not everything on the computer.
Sure.
You know? And you're so right. In college curriculums, they teach sales because sales is the way.
This is the reality.
You got to be, and I love people who say, "Oh, I can't sell for a living. I don't sell. I'm not a salesman."
Yeah, okay, listen, my story,
sell every day.
I got into sales because I wanted more money. I just couldn't stay behind a counter. And if you do that, by all means, I respect that. But I was doing retail.
Sure.
And I was selling clothes, whatever, and then, making $6 an hour. And I'm making, and I'm like,
showing your age now.
I was 8, well, I'm almost 40. But I was literally like 16 years old, and I'm like, this check stinks. I'm like, $200 for 2 weeks of work.
Yep.
And again, my father's an entrepreneur. He's a sales guy. He was like, okay, I got my 9 to 5, but outside of that, he will sell everything. Come on, Oscar, let's go. On a Saturday morning, selling jewelry, perfumes, just literally trying to hustle.
Selling everything.
Promoting events. I mean, I was always there observing this.
Yep.
And the point is, I realized that, okay, I wanted to be an analyst. I wanted to be a consultant. I got all these nice titles. At the end of the day, you have to sell.
You have to learn how to present yourself.
Yeah. There are two things that companies are looking for. Either one, you're helping the company make money,
Yes.
or you're helping the company save money.
Yep.
And this is the fastest way you get acknowledgement.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's the way to go. You want freedom, you want independence, you want to take advantage of America, the land of opportunity. Sales is the way to go.
And yes, sales is the only way to go, and because sales is really everything again.
Oh.
And the
I
reality
got so
is
many stories to share about this. Oh man.
Oh yeah, we can talk about this for hours.
Hours.
Well, we train on this for hours,
Right, exactly.
days at a time.
Yes.
So I mean, that's the reality of it. So where are you right now? If you're watching this here in the sales game, where are you in your life? Where are you in your sales profession? Remember, when you're pointing a finger at somebody, there's three pointing back at you. So you have to take responsibility.
Yeah.
If you're in sales and you're not doing well, get a book.
Yeah.
Read a book. Read a book on sales. Here's one on spin selling by Neil Rackman. You know, there's so many of them. Brian Tracy, Tom Hopkins, Grant Cardone.
Yes.
There's so many good books that you can read, and you can elevate your career.
You know what's great about books?
What?
That someone took 20, 30 years to write this book.
Yeah.
You can download all this knowledge
Yes.
in less than a week if you really wanted to.
Yes, you can.
That's the beauty of it. You're able to download wisdom before the age of the wisdom.
Yes.
So when I learned about sales, like, you know, great book, right? How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Great book.
Right? Okay. So
Great book.
yeah, exactly. So I read this book and I'm like, oh my God, this is a system.
Yeah.
There's a system on how to make sure that you are more influential with people.
Yes.
Why guess it? Why use hope as a strategy? So then I got addicted to this stuff.
I
I'm like,
love that. Why use hope as a strategy?
right. So I was like, I got addicted. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't share it with anybody. I'm competitive by nature. I'm from New Jersey, New York. Very competitive environment, okay? First generation American, very competitive environment,
Yep.
right? And at the same time, yeah, you got the basic training that they give you at the company, but I wanted more. And I would go to Barnes & Noble, I'll go to the library, true story, and I'm like, this is good stuff.
And you read.
And people would ask me, Oscar, how come you're so successful? I don't know, I just got lucky. But no, I was literally going after this.
There's no such thing
There's
as
a
luck, is there?
system. So literally, it's all out there for you.
It's true.
And you're able to download it. This is a privilege. Back in a long time ago, people would not give you that. They would like, just make phone calls, follow the script. I'm not going to show you anything else.
Yep.
They just want to keep you under their thumb.
It is a system.
You know?
Why
There's
use hope as a
system.
strategy? That's a great way to put it. And
Begging.
Yeah, well, because again, we say this because we get on here and we talk about this stuff, and hopefully somebody will realize that and say, yeah, I want to change, man. I don't want to be in the same position I am in
Yeah.
July 4th, 2018.
No.
I mean, that's, I want to be moving ahead. We're either moving forward or we're moving backwards.
Right.
In my life, personally, I want to be moving ahead. So where are you? Ask
Where are
yourself
you?
where you are. Take responsibility. Look in the mirror and say, I need to do better.
Yes.
Action, massive action. Just
Listen.
like in the 10X rule, massive action is what it takes. You got to take action to succeed. It's not going to be given to you.
Right.
Listen, those lotto stories of people win the lottery, chances are it's not going to happen to you. You got to make it happen
The odds
for
are against
you.
Right.
The odds are against you.
The
So
odds.
the only way, look, I'm a high school dropout. So
Really?
Yeah, well, you know that.
Yeah.
So, but I say that to the people, right? And
Yeah.
the reason why I say that to the people, because look, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and we hear countless stories like, hey, Les Brown. I mean, Les Brown, this gentleman here, Les Brown, which is the greatest speaker on the planet, who gets paid $40,000 an hour. I mean, he never went to college.
Tony Robbins didn't go.
Tony Robbins
didn't
didn't go to college. Brian Tracy never went to
No.
college. All these people, and the reason why we say that, we're not saying that
But
because
you know
we
what?
tell you college stinks. No. But,
No, hold on. There's one thing though. These people did not go to school, but they were learning.
They were
still.
learning after
They did
school.
not stop.
Yes.
They were going to seminars.
Yes.
So I want to get clarification on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They still put the time in. They
Absolutely.
paid the price. So don't think they didn't go to school and they just hung out and played video games all day.
No.
These people were learning, and I have a lot of examples of people like you
Yep.
who, but you know what? They invested in themselves.
They invested time.
Or they got lucky. They got in the right company. They had the right training system.
Yes.
The right coaching, the right mentorship. They got lucky too. Environment is also important.
Mentorship,
Mentorship, is
Coaching.
huge. Oh my God.
huge.
Yeah.
My first mentor, Art Bell,
Mhm.
he was my first mentor
Yes.
in the automotive industry. And I learned so much from him that I can't tell you how valuable that was for my career.
Absolutely.
And he taught me what it was like to sell. He got me first involved in the personal development field. I mean, I was digging ditches.
Yeah.
I was making, $8-10 an hour, coming home full of mud.
That was my story too.
Yeah, I was just digging ditches. I was a mule.
Yeah, sales is beautiful. I mean,
You dress nice, you come in.
You dress nice.
Good.
Like, okay, yeah. For example, I had a hard job too. Okay, so the retail stuck. So I got another job, $15 an hour, working for a company called APA Transport in North Bergen, New Jersey. It was a trucking company, and I'm literally putting big freight trucks.
Yeah.
I was doing sporadic labor. I would go in at 6 o'clock and I would come out at 7 a.m. the next day. Graveyard shift. It was horrible.
terrible.
I was exhausted. I'm like, there's gotta be something better than this. I got a sales shop. Telemarketing. 18 years old, whatever. And reading these books, what I realize is this. What do we get paid to do? You are a wordsmith. You get paid to dress nice, meet friends,
Yep.
and you get paid for it.
And that's how you get paid. But you got to treat people right.
Absolutely.
All right, and that's the important
Yeah.
thing about the professional side.
Yes.
If you're a professional salesperson, you treat everybody with respect and you give them what they
Your
want.
reputation follows you.
Without question.
Yes.
And that's another part of being a professional. You don't have to be a closer
Right.
to be a professional salesperson. Closing begins with the handshake. Hey,
Yeah.
how you doing, man? Nice to meet you.
Sure.
That's where the close begins, right then and there.
Yeah.
You don't have to hammer people at the end to buy your product.
Yeah.
If you find yourself in that position where you're hammering people just to buy the product at the end,
You didn't do your job.
you
up
didn't
front.
do your job up
Yeah.
front.
You didn't prepare.
You didn't
You
prepare.
didn't ask questions.
That's correct. You didn't ask
Yeah,
questions.
you just used the hope as a strategy, and now you're trying to muscle your way into getting a check.
Right, because if you ask all the questions up front, people are going to tell you the objections that they're going to
Yep.
hit you with. They're going to tell you exactly what they need.
Yep.
If you treat them right, you give them respect, you give them exactly what they need, the close should be fairly simple.
Yeah.
In fact, the old model used to be a triangle. The sales model was a triangle that went like this.
Yes.
And most of it up here was just a meet and a greet and a qualify, but the vast majority of that bottom
Close,
part of the
close,
triangle was
close.
close. It's not like that anymore.
No.
It's the opposite.
Yep.
Build rapport, establish relationship,
Yes.
establish trust, treat people with respect, be there for them, and then the close should be, if I had my pen on me,
Right.
see, I should have a pen on me.
Right.
Close should be just sign right here. So, there's a big, we can talk about this forever.
Hours. I mean, this is my first Facebook Live, and I was like, man,
First time he's ever
we
on
could
Facebook
talk.
Live.
I mean, I could talk hours and hours on this because I love this industry,
Oh,
and sales. I think is something that you need to understand that you have to be recession proof for yourself.
You do.
And it doesn't matter where you are in the world, where you go, things happen. You have to move for whatever reason. But if you get this skill set down, Matt, you're never gonna have to worry about getting a meal, ever.
You can go, if you're a professional, not a salesperson,
Professional.
a sales professional.
You could be employed for life. It doesn't matter.
You're never out of a job.
And that gives you certainty.
Sure does.
Because you're like, you know what? Okay, if this doesn't work out, that job didn't work out, or maybe that company didn't make it to what we thought it was gonna make it to in 5 years. Fine. At the end of the day, I could always get a sales position somewhere.
Always.
And guess what? Immediately they'll recognize how good I am.
Absolutely, because they're going to see your skills right
Right,
off the bat.
exactly.
That's what we tell people. We have here at the Institute, we do a 4 and 5 days, depending on the industry and depending on what we want, we do 4 or 5 day sales training programs. We do 1-day training programs, 2-day training, depending on certain subjects and certain things that we do. And we talk about that all the time, that when you're a true sales professional, you are never without a job.
Yeah.
You are never without an income.
Yeah.
And you'll make 6 figures a year for the rest of your life. Without question.
Sure.
In any industry. Now, look, am I going to say, I just, before we close out, is it easy? No. Nothing's easy in
No.
life. Life is hard. There's
Sales is
gonna be
energy.
things,
It's energy.
Life
You
is
know?
hard, man, and things are going to happen in life. And life isn't as easy as a box of roses and chocolates that come to your door. No, you're going to run into some obstacles. You're going to have tough times. You might have some bad months. You might have a tragedy that may happen to you that might set you back. But if you're focused on your goal and your dreams and you really want to be a professional in the industry and you keep reading and you keep staying on the course, you will succeed. But I can tell you that the most professional salespeople, the most successful business people in the world, they all do the one common thing, which is read. Educate. I'm not saying that reading novels are bad, but you should read at least 1 book a month, if not 2 books a month,
Right.
on your specific career and your career path.
Right.
Because just, again, how much more advanced will you be knowing that the person next to you hasn't read a book? It could be in 5 years.
I would, you know what, again, that was my secret weapon I would not share for a long time. literally, I had this pack of 30-day tapes
Yeah.
from a guy named Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins.
And I had college roommates with me, and again, I would go to school and work full time
Yep.
because I had to pay the bills. My parents didn't,
Yep.
they didn't put me in a college plan or whatever, and that's cool with them, But the point is, I used to hide this stuff.
You didn't want to tell the
Yeah,
competition.
I didn't want to tell anybody. Like, I'm like,
Especially-
yeah, what do you know? But ultimately, because that was my secret weapon. But I believe in that. Look, it's the same thing like anything else, like sports.
Right.
For example, right? I wanted to be a starter the following season. I wanted to start.
Right.
So I would go to these camps, right, and learn from the best, and they would show me the techniques, the strategies.
Yeah.
Downloading the knowledge, all of a sudden, I had an advantage. I played chess. I would go to somebody better than me. And
Yeah,
that
that's what you
mentor
wanna
would
do.
teach me. So meanwhile, this person is using the hope strategy.
Yes.
So I come back and play that person. I have more strategies, more techniques. I have more
It
confidence.
makes you grow.
Or I grew so much, I surpassed them.
Yep.
I outgrew them.
Yep.
That's when I realized this is the secret stuff.
The secret
A
sauce.
long time ago, believe it or not, the only people, back in Europe, back in the medieval times,
Right.
and even Latin America, the only people that were allowed to read were the clergy and the aristocrats. If you were rich, you're able to read.
You're a read.
If not, if you were born, with a farmer or whatever,
But now
just
we
learn.
have so much at our disposal.
Yeah, this is like the gift of kings.
We have so much at our disposal. We can, and here's one last thing I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I do in my truck when I drive to work, where I go anywhere,
Yes.
my vehicle is a rolling university.
Yes, I know that. Last time you listened to 10X, I think, or
It could have been whichever one of them. I got audible.com on my phone and I listen
Yes.
to so many of them. But my vehicle's a rolling university.
Yeah.
And I recommend that everybody does that.
it's crazy. I
Yeah,
mean, so much information out there.
There's so much information.
And even on YouTube, you can
You
download.
can download YouTube, audible.com.
All right.
There's so many resources.
Unbelievable. Yes.
Like, why would you want to listen to music? Look, it's okay if you want to listen to music here and there, it's fine. But what is that accomplishing you on the way to work? Especially this music these days. I don't want to say any of it, but it's just terrible. Listen to something positive,
Yes.
something related to your industry,
Yes.
and succeed. Become a professional,
Yes.
not
And-
just a salesperson.
Yeah, and again, that question: are you a sales professional? When it comes to sales, it boils down to four categories, right?
Yes.
And you need to focus on linguistic skills, being a wordsmith, right? What are the right words? How do you really, do you know how to trigger emotions? Do you know how to get to the person's brain and heart? Okay.
Right.
There's a lot of information out there on how to really find the right words to trigger that individual,
Oh, yes.
so they can feel better about doing business with you. Because when they say no to you, it's just resistance, and it's not even valid. It's just the emotional brain kicking in. The second thing is, how good do you know how to build relationships? Do you have a good understanding of psychology?
Yes.
Do you know about the 4 behavior styles? Do you know what kind of, do you have consumer behavior knowledge? Do you know what, this
Dropping
customer,
some serious nuggets here,
this
man.
customer is a
You're
thinker.
dropping some
All right, this
serious
customer he wants to do the research. So you're going to know how to maneuver it. The third is, do you have a sales process? This good book, Spin Selling.
Been selling is great.
It's all about having a process in place, right?
Yes.
And then finally, do you have the techniques down? But you know what the most important, the common denominator, Matt, is self-motivation.
Oh yeah, of course.
Sales is energy.
Of course it is.
And that's the one thing people don't like about it. But the people who are the best, they take care of themselves.
Well, they're passionate.
They work out every day if they have
Sure.
to. They eat well. They go to church. They fill up themselves with a lot of faith and spirit.
Positive stuff,
One-
yeah.
One of my favorite books is The Greatest Salesman in the World.
Oh, I have it over there. I should have
Yeah.
brought it out there.
It's all about
Ben
faith.
Dino. It's a great
Yeah.
what a book.
Yeah.
If you haven't read that book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, you gotta go get that book.
Yeah.
It's such a short read. I mean, you're done with that book in, you're finished in like a couple hours.
Yeah,
Maybe not even
absolutely.
an hour, 2 hours. What a book.
I
to
go
read.
back to that book. True story. In 2008, everything was crashing. Mortgage industry,
Yeah,
sales
yeah.
industry.
Mhm.
People were scared, looking for a job.
Yep.
And I read that book. Quick read, again and again.
Quick read.
And even though it was a downturn market, the recession was low, people were scared.
Yep.
They were dropping out like flies. The competition was walking out.
Yep.
But there were still people looking to buy.
Of course.
Right? This whole story.
Economy's still going
right.
on. There's still money flowing. It's still going.
And I doubled down on my efforts.
There you go.
And I realized you have to sell yourself out of a hole. You got debt? Are you gonna get settle for a fixed income?
I mean, if that's what,
Really? Or do you want to get out of debt? Let's be realistic. People think hope is a strategy. The lottery, you say lottery,
Hope is a strategy.
inheritance. So I'm gonna marry someone rich. I hope that happens.
Yeah, we do hope that.
Yeah.
I mean, we always wish the best for everybody, but you got to make it happen for yourself. You got to be the one, that professional that takes the action to grow yourself.
When you help yourself first, then people start helping you.
Absolutely.
The universe helps you. God, not to get spiritual with you, but I believe that God helps those who help themselves first.
There's no question about it. You can go spiritual you want. This is absolutely true.
You put $300 down on a credit card instead of spending $100 in the bar.
Yeah.
Right? And then you feed your mind. You show up.
Yeah.
You play to win.
Yeah.
In a year, that $300 is nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's funny. But that is the truth. God helps those who help themselves.
Yes.
I'm glad you actually brought that up. And not to get spiritual, but to get a little spiritual, is you also got to recognize, because sometimes we pray for certain things and we get down and we pray, and then God says, here, but we don't recognize it. That's what we prayed for.
Yes.
So you got to open your mind as well, and be
absolutely.
willing to see what's out in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of this whole game, right?
And sales is energy. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy.
Right.
But when it comes to energy, I want you to imagine that you are a Bugatti and you're like a 12-cylinder vehicle, right? Well, imagine yourself. You have energy, and there are 4 types.
Yep.
Okay? The first is you need to have mental energy. You need to focus.
Yeah.
What am I reading? What am I feeding myself? What am I listening to? Right? The second is physical energy.
Yeah.
What are you feeding yourself? Because sales is energy.
Sales
the third
energy.
is, emotional energy. Right? Because people buy when you feel good. If you're being a negative person, and the fourth is the force, spiritual energy. That's why I mentioned it. If you put all those 4 things and all pistons going at the same time, you're unstoppable.
Man, this is some serious
sales is energy.
You're dropping some serious
Well,
numbers.
Again, years and years of experience.
I love it. This is great stuff.
I mean, they don't know me yet, but I get paid to come in and turn around sales organizations.
And his company is called Turnaround Strategies.
Training Technologies.
Turnaround Training Technologies. So, that's what we do here at the Institute.
Right.
And let me give a little plug. If you want to have a sales training for you personally or your corporation, we do sales trainings here at nighttime to fit everybody's schedule. We do corporate trainings here at the Institute. We also come to them. We also do customized, all kinds of different training programs, including customized training programs. And you can call us right here at the Institute at 1-866-897-0555. So I got to go a little plug here.
Sure.
866-897-0555. If you're interested in learning more for sales training for yourself as an individual, we have individual programs. We also have corporate sales training programs, customized training programs. And it's not just on sales, it's on leadership, time management, goal setting.
Yeah, I mean, again, being a professional.
We've
done classes specifically on just psychology.
Yeah, we were up in Orlando doing a sales training today. Al's still there. Al DeStaro, Vice President of Sales Development and Training. He's up finishing up a 5-day sales training up in the Orlando area right now with another corporation. And because it's that important.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everything.
It's a life skill.
It's a life skill.
If you're in business and you don't know how to really sell, then you're not really a business person.
Right.
It's just, I mean, I don't see how.
You gotta.
It's like saying that you're a baseball player, but you don't know how to, hit the ball.
Sales is everything.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, like if you're, you have to know how to hit the ball. Like even a pitcher that doesn't bat up, he knows how to hit the ball, right?
Of course. They still got to get up though.
They go hand in hand.
So I think we're already over 30 minutes here, man. We could talk about this for
hours. Again,
and a specific
I'm enthusiastic about this.
We're just talking about it right now, just having a conversation.
But you know what's important for me? Because this changes lives.
It does.
It changed my life.
It does.
Okay. I wasn't going to graduate college. I had no idea because I had no more money left in my financial aid.
Right.
And again, that mentor, you need to focus on sales.
Yeah.
Figure it out. I went to the sales manager. I said, what could I do? What could I do to make up for it? My tuition is going to be $9,000. Okay? How could I do it? And it was one of those growth moments for me.
Yeah.
True story. Because I had a tuition to pay and I was like, how am I going to do it? And I got involved and I made more phone calls. Sure. I doubled down.
You took massive action.
Massive action. I said,
you did.
The girlfriend, even though she was yummy, I wanted to see her, man. She was right. I just had to say, sorry, I can't see you right now.
Right.
It's time to prioritize.
Right.
And there's so many moments in my life where, my father, for example, I graduated and I wanted to go to law school, and he was like, the company's gonna go under, and I need to make money. Help us. I got a sales job.
There you go.
And I rose up the ranks. I got acknowledged. I became an analyst, but I got acknowledged. But the point is, at every level, that you grow at, you're gonna need a new skill set, a new
Yes.
level of motivation. You can never stop growing.
You can never
You
stop
never
learning.
stop growing. And
Never
ultimately,
stop learning, right?
yeah, and ultimately, I have friends who started in sales, and now they're sales leaders,
Of course.
VP of sales.
Making well into the six
Oh my
figures.
God, they got like multiple properties now.
Oh gosh.
They even invested in the green movement. Not to cutting into it, but they're making investments in California.
It's
Night
oh,
and
that
day.
movement.
This changes lives.
It's because sales is everything. I mean, we
It changes lives, and that's why I'm
countless
passionate
stories.
about it.
Yeah, we got countless stories of people who rose from nothing to what they have, and it's just incredible. We have countless stories that you can talk about that you can just, and it's about who you surround yourself with too. So we'll finish up in a minute, but I do want to touch on that. It's funny. A study was recently done that you earn within $10,000 of your 5 closest friends.
Yes.
So I gotta be, that's another thing. Listen, man, if you're the smartest person in your group, then you got a new group.
Yeah.
And another thing is if you look around, like I want you to just think about that study that was done. Just July 4th holiday, if you have 5 friends around you, just take a minute and think about what they're earning.
Yeah.
If you have a desire to earn more financially, then guess what? Then you need to find people to hang. See, look, the truth is, people who make 50 grand a year hang out. People who make 50,000 a year.
Yeah.
People who make $500,000 a year hang out. People $500,000 a year. People who make $1 million a year are not hanging out with people who make 50,000 a year. And I don't say that way in a disparaging way at all. It's
No.
just a reality.
Right.
If money is one of your motivators, and you want to make X amount of dollars or have $1 million in the bank, you have to hang out with people who have the knowledge, be mentored, and hang out with people who make that kind of money.
Yeah.
That's what sales is about.
Right. And you know what? Some people unconsciously don't want to be around those people. They feel uncomfortable.
I know that.
Because they're
you
not.
gotta get comfortable.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got in sales, and I mean, we can just talk about this forever.
Yeah.
But I remember specifically, there were always guys there that were in the business for 15 years. 15 years, 20 years. But yet, they're selling only 15 or 16 cars a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, dude, I mean, like, what are you doing? Like, you're selling 15 cars a month, but you're in the business for 20 years. You should be,
Right.
you should be looking yourself in the mirror.
Stagnation.
And those were the guys who never went to the seminars, the Brian Tracy
Right.
seminars, the Tom Hopkins, the Tony Robbins, the Grant Cardones. And I would always go to those seminars because I wanted to do more than that. I wanted to sell 25, 30 cars a month.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to, and they're the negative ones. So stay away from the negatives.
Yes.
Stay away from the people who are negative.
Yeah.
Stay away from the people who are stagnant.
Yes.
And if you're in those kind of group of people who are always negative and always stagnant, then you need to get out of that group.
Right. I mean, just think about it. Why do you think country clubs are expensive? Why do you think they charge a lot of money to go to the Ritz-Carlton and 5-star hotels?
Because people there.
That's all the achievers.
That's what you're going to
Right.
be elbowing
All
with,
the
mingling
achievers are
with.
there. These are all the achievers.
Right.
And here's the thing, like ultimately, when you get a job, no matter what, somebody told me this, and they asked that, like, this one guy, he's a good sales trainer. He's like, everyone here starts at the same time, right? We start at the same level. But there are 3 types of people. There's some of you are just here for that job. You want a paycheck because you want to pay for your cell phone bill, you want to pay for your car bill, and that's it.
That's it.
Some of you really want a career here, and you want to rise up the ranks, maybe be an executive, a manager, a leader.
Right.
Some of you are here because you want to be owners. Which one are you? What are you now?
Well,
I know. The point is, are you a professional? Because if you're not a professional, then you're basically the person just kind of wasting time.
Right.
And you're just going with luck as a strategy. And that is not the best strategy.
Yeah.
Because you're vulnerable to the environment. It changes.
I think what we should do is we'll plan another Facebook here for next week.
This is my first one.
We'll give a subject. We'll actually specifically talk about a sales subject. Maybe we'll talk about how to overcome objections or different closing techniques. Because like I said, as we go back to the beginning, what kind of professional are you? Are you a salesperson or are you a sales professional? If you're in the sales industry, if you don't have, I'm going to say, I'll be conservative. If you don't have 10 closes or 20 closes in your pocket to break out at any one time, then you're not a professional.
Right.
If your only close is, can we do it? Can you sign? Can we do it? You need to figure it out. Reduced to Ridiculous, Ben Franklin, all kinds of different closes.
Sure.
You need to have your tools in your toolbox.
Yes.
So maybe we'll discuss that. We'll put a little post out there so we can get some people.
Absolutely.
We'll do a free little post. It'd be great.
Yeah, again,
session.
like playing chess, the more strategy you have,
The better you
you're
are.
like, oh, I've seen this before. Okay, I know how to handle this.
Yeah.
You're no longer going to be subject to guessing.
Right.
And that's what a professional is. A professional is a person that, even though they don't feel good about it, even that day, that headache or they're sick, they still perform above average.
Without question.
That's a professional.
They're ready to go.
They
at
make
all
things
times.
hard look easy. That's a professional.
Yeah.
And professional to me is somebody that gets paid to practice.
Yeah. And you want to know something? Here's another thing before we sign off. You ever heard of somebody who has that golden touch? Everything that they touch turns to gold.
The Midas touch.
Yeah. We also have to realize that those people that succeed a lot also fail a lot. So, you know, I want everybody to understand that failure is part of this game.
Right.
And that you need to fail forward rather than failing backwards.
Yes.
Failing forward is what makes a difference, because a lot of people only see the successes.
Yeah. They don't.
But they don't see all those hard times that
Yeah.
you go through, those failures that you go through. And most people don't really see that. The truth is, we are all self-made. Everyone in the world is self-made. We're all self-made. However, only the successful people admit it.
Yeah. It's true. And
We're all self-made, but only successful people say, hey man, I am a successful self-made millionaire. But nobody raises their hand and says, hey man, I'm a successful self-made $40,000 a year clerk or something like that.
Right.
So,
No, they don't tell you the amount of work
Right.
they put in, the nights they
effort
put in.
and the
Yeah.
failure that they had to go through and those speed bumps
Tons
they had
of
to overcome.
failures.
I mean, it's just a lot, man. It's so. Well, we can keep talking about this,
Yeah.
man. So I think we should kind of wrap this up. We're well
Yeah,
over.
sure.
We're 45 minutes in this thing
Sure.
already. So once again, if you have an interest in learning a little bit more about the Institute, about some of our training classes, some of our sales training, our leadership, time management, anything like that, whether you're an individual or corporate, if you need customized trainings for your company, please call us. The number is 866-897-0555. 866-897-0555. Or reach out to us through Facebook. You can reach me, Matt Wannen, or you can reach Oscar Arias on his Facebook. We'll put a couple of links out there for you.
Sure.
But anything that you have, man, please feel free to call us, and
Yeah.
we're happy to talk
Let us
to you
know.
about
We're here to
anything.
help. We're here local in South Florida.
Yeah, we have a beautiful institute, a beautiful facility. We can do the teachings right here.
Yeah. So we're ready to go. Are you?
So with that, happy 4th of July.
Yes.
Happy Independence Day. Have a great, safe holiday. Please, everybody, be safe. I don't know if you have animals, like my dogs hate this holiday, but so we got to put my dog away. But listen, have a safe holiday. Have a great time this weekend. And just remember, even though we're all going to have some hot dogs and beer on July 4th, before you start drinking and eating, read a book, will you? Read a book, encourage yourself, and make a commitment today that you want to better yourself and that you're going to learn on a daily basis. Hey, whether it's 15 minutes or 30 minutes a day, do something positive for yourself from
Absolutely.
this moment forward.
And if you're not a big reader, that's cool. I mean, I'm a big reader. Go on audible.com.
I read it all the time.
They give you 2 free downloads. Right.
If you become a member, just so you know, I have a monthly membership on audible.com.
Oh,
I
do you?
get 1 free book a month.
Nice.
Yeah, and the other books are really discounted. I just downloaded 2 books today.
Yeah.
So it was, yesterday. Sorry, I downloaded two books yesterday. And it cost me, because I have the 1 credit for the month, right? I have the 1 credit. And no, it was today, because today's the 1st,
Yeah,
right?
today's the first.
Today's the 1st. So I downloaded, I got 1 full credit for the month, and I paid a discounted rate. I got 30% off the other one. So it's well worth it.
It's worth it. I mean, even while I'm sleeping sometimes, I'm just like, okay, just turn it on. Even though you're not like really retaining it, you think you are. Your subconscious mind.
Your
gets
subconscious
everything.
mind is, and
Just
turn
feed
your
that.
car into a university. Turn
Yeah.
your vehicle into a rolling university.
And going back to the people that are successful, I could go and show you case studies of people that made it from 0 to $1 million in net worth, and the amount of discipline was above average. These people have discipline.
Discipline in action.
There's nothing. I mean, no degree. At the end of the day, it's all about discipline. There's no substitute for.
You don't need a
disciplined.
degree to be successful in this
No,
country.
no.
You don't need a degree.
It's just having that strength, that
Absolutely.
desire, and the strategies are available. But the desire part, that's on you.
There's so many strategies.
What do you really want in your life? What's your dream? Do you want to have that home? Do you want to take care of your parents? Do you want to, change the direction of your family legacy?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, there's so many things you can say.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to serve at your local church? I mean, do you want to just serve people? There's so much out there. There's so much that we could do. And our mentor, Les Brown, has a great saying. His signature saying is, "You have something special.
Yes.
You have greatness within you." And it's the truth. We all have greatness within us, and greatness is not this godlike, esoteric type of a thing that only a few of us are graced with. It's within all of us.
Yeah.
But we just have to bring it out personally, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Les says, and not to sound grotesque here, but he's like, you are the sperm that made it.
Yeah.
You know what the odds
you're
were?
the 1 out of 400 million sperm that made
Yeah.
it.
You know what the odds were for you to be born? Biologically speaking, that is the lottery.
It's not grotesque. He says it all the time.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. You know.
You're the one out of the 400 million sperm that was in there, that was making it and swimming, that got there.
So you're alive for a reason. Your purpose is here. What is it?
Right. You got to find out what your why is, your purpose. And speaking of that, listen. Here's a great book, Intentional Living by John Maxwell. It talks about your why, your purpose. So there's so many. We can talk about anything.
No, we can go all day. Yeah, again, I could go all day.
Yeah, we can keep going. But I think what we should do
all free.
It's good though. It's good. You know, we love dropping those nuggets. So Oscar, thank you very much.
Thanks,
man,
for having me. Appreciate it. Thanks for listening.
By the way, this is his first.
My first time, guys.
First Facebook Live, man.
It is.
Holy cow.
I've been very low key. He's like, Matt's telling me why. I'm like, I don't know.
Why are you so low key, man?
Well, but people do hire me, of course, and I get into these companies and all through referrals, by the way.
And by the way, Oscar's worked for some of the biggest corporations in the world, flew all over the world. He's hired by Coca-Cola Corporation, Honeywell Corporation, PepsiCo. I mean, so I want you to know, this guy is hired by some of the most established corporations in the world to come train their staff, their management staff on leadership and their top sales professionals. Hey, you just got back from Mexico, right?
Yes.
And you were training, was it PepsiCo?
No, ThyssenKrupp.
ThyssenKrupp. Okay, ThyssenKrupp. That's what I'm saying. They're one of the biggest companies in the world. German company. And we're training another German company here in August, a 3-day sales training program. It's one of the Fortune 500 companies. And they have 65,000 employees. We're training them right here at the Institute.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
So, no more being on the QT, man. You have to get out in the public.
I know, I need to.
You need to get out in the public. So,
but the point is, I mean, you're in good hands here. We really want to serve you guys because this changes lives.
Yes.
You know, and there's a lot of, uncertainty, distress, and people are not engaged.
Yes.
They're not happy, and it just takes effort, and people are sales. I don't want to do sales, Everybody wants to, be CEO and everything. And I'm like, okay. But at the end of the day, people that are moving up the ranks
comes out to sales.
Yeah. If anything, go pick up a magazine, Selling Power.
Selling Power is great. It's online. It's an online magazine.
And you'll be surprised. Microsoft.
I have a subscription to Selling Power.
28,000 salespeople.
Yeah.
So no matter what technology, Google, right? Graduated Harvard Business School.
Yeah.
Guess what the positions are?
What?
In sales.
What?
Sales. They're looking for salespeople.
Yeah.
At Google.
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, sales
you have an MBA and you're still going to be in sales.
You know what the best part about most sales positions are too? They're commission only. Yeah. I love that. But anyway, that's a whole other subject.
We can talk about that.
Yeah. We can go into the subject after subject.
Oh yeah, it's
again. I think we're approaching an hour. I think we should let.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
So listen,
happy 4th. Be safe.
Happy 4th of July. Have a great weekend, and we'll do this. You and I will get back on. We'll put a little little message out there on what day. We'll give some really golden nuggets on some sales.
Sounds good.
Some sales techniques.
All right. Awesome.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.